Well, it's finally happening. Twin Peaks is once again ready to grace our TVs and distort our mental facilities this year, and we in the office could not be happier. Except Plumpy, of course, because, well, his name is Plumpy, but that's a whole other thing. Twin Peaks began with a simple whodunit murder premise, but quickly went off the rails with its uncanny and supernatural tone. It's a show that begs to be analysed rather than watched. As so many odd things happened, it's very easy to get lost. But before the new series drops and very likely adds even more confusion to the plot, let's take a look at some of the crazy facts which people might not know. With this in mind, I'm Jules for Whatculture.com, and these are 10 mind-blowing facts you didn't know about Twin Peaks. Number 10. It was a family affair. The supposedly perfect all-American nuclear family is an important reoccurring theme in David Lynch's work, but especially in Twin Peaks. Whereas most of the families in the show are at best dysfunctional and at the very best are murdery, behind the scenes it seemed that nepotism was key to the show's production. Lynch enlisted his daughter Jennifer to write the tie-in book The Secret Diary of Laura Palmer, with co-creator Mark Frost getting his brother Scott to pen the autobiography of FBI Special Agent Dale Cooper. Many family members also had cameos in the show. Lynch's son was a Meals on Wheels client, Frost's father was the town doctor, Leo was the casting director's son, and producer Robert Engel's wife played Trudy the waitress. Number 9. The pilot was shown in European cinemas and had an ending. The pilot of Twin Peaks was designed to be much longer than an average episode, going way over the 90-minute mark. The idea was that if the studios didn't want to pick it up as a series, the pilot could then be run as a TV movie. In between the pilot's filming and the show being commissioned, it was actually aired in a few European cinemas as well as having a US home video release. What this meant, though, was that it had to have an ending. Now, I won't spoil it for you, and it is very different to the show's ending, but let's just say that Lynch has gone on record to state that he wished that he'd never revealed who killed Laura Palmer so very early on. Number 8. The small town's huge population was a network mandate. The Welcome to Twin Peaks sign is a very familiar sight for fans of the show, but one weird thing that you might not have noticed is that according to the sign, over 51,000 people live here. That's a huge amount for such a small town, surely. Well, it turns out that instead of the 5,120 residents that Lynch wanted, the network demanded it be raised, mainly because ABC was worried that a small-town drama just wouldn't track as well. Bizarre. Number 7. Bob appeared by accident. David Lynch is well known for playing fast and loose with his projects, never really having a set path when he starts off and allowing improvisation and sudden inspiration to guide him. This is what led murdery spirit Bob to even come into existence, as before this point the story was going to go in a very different direction. However, when shooting a scene in Laura Palmer's room, Frank Silver, the show's set dresser, was captured on film by accident. Lynch loved the image of Silver so much that he made Bob and gave him the role, which in turn gave birth to one of the best supernatural aspects of the show. Number 6. The One-Armed Man was also a late addition. Originally, the One-Armed Man was simply meant to have a brief walk-on role, as a tongue-in-cheek reference to the old Fugitive TV series where Dr. Richard Kimball was framed for the murder of his wife with a similarly disabled man. This One-Armed Man too was also named Gerard. Lynch was so in love with the performance of the actor Al Strobel that he created a much larger role for the One-Armed Man, even going so far as to tie this character with the man from another place. As if you reverse his dialogue, this very odd man states multiple times, "I am the arm." Number 5. The log lady kept her log. What is the deal with this log? Why does this woman carry it everywhere? I mean, in the grand scheme of Twin Peaks, this is but a minor mystery, but it's one that still plagues the mind. Well, it turns out that the actress playing the log lady really bought into the role as well, as she took the prop home with her when the show finished up, even bringing it to conventions she attended. Number 4. Madeline Ferguson was invented to keep Cheryl Lee around. Whilst Laura Palmer was the character whom the whole series revolved around, at least at first, she was obviously dead for the majority, so wasn't in it that much. Lynch, however, loved the caliber of Cheryl Lee's acting so much, he devised a way to write her back into the story. Therefore, audiences were introduced to Maddie Ferguson, Laura's cousin, who, apart from a few cosmetic changes, was identical to her. Number 3. The Black Lodge pattern is everywhere. The Black Lodge, and specifically the red room that sits in the center of this bizarre purgatorial netherworld, is one of the most visually creative images in the show. The draped red curtains on all sides, the bashful nude marble statue, and let's not forget the man from another place sat on a couch in the middle of it all. But let's also not forget the famous black and white zigzag pattern across the floor, which resulted in many crossed eyes across viewers. Whilst nowadays it appears on bedspreads that you can buy from Wilko's, the pattern is actually a favourite of Lynch's, having previously used it for a carpeted floor in his feature film debut Razorhead. It even appeared elsewhere in the show, namely on Leland Palmer's jacket during a slow dance. Number 2. Lost Highway is set in the same universe. David Lynch is not a man who likes to talk about his work. Sure, he's done many interviews in his time, but he's been very cagey on divulging anything that would provide sufficient closure on certain subjects. The one thing he did gift fans, though, was this little nugget, that Lost Highway and Twin Peaks are set in the same universe. Now, this isn't the beginning of a Marvel-esque shared cinematic universe that ends with Cheryl Lee, Bill Pullman, and Henry Rollins teaming up to take down Bob and the Pale-Faced Mystery Man, but it is pretty cool to know that there's some connective tissue between Lynch's projects. And number 1, Mikhail Gorbachev demanded to know the ending. It can be hard to overstate what a phenomenon Twin Peaks was at the time, but audiences really had never seen anything like it. Even today, there's nothing quite as odd and kooky that's appeared on a major network. Even before it gained its cult status, it was extremely popular for a time, and it boasted fans in many unusual places. For example, Mikhail Gorbachev, the Soviet leader in the early 90s. It's alleged that he even got George H.W. Bush to phone Lynch and ask for the ending of the show. But Lynch refused, apparently not caring for the newly cemented Cold War peace between the two nations. Good for him. And that's our list. Got any more mind-blowing facts about Twin Peaks? Well, let me know about them in the comments section below. And why not swing by Whatculture.com for more news and articles like this every goddamn day. As always, I've been Jules. You can also follow us here on Twitter or me personally at RetroJ with a 0, and I will speak to you soon.